everybody, welcome to my plastic documentary video. In this video, I'm gonna go ahead and talk about and show you guys basically all the plastic consumption I use throughout my day, from the minute that I wake up to the minute I go to sleep. So follow me throughout the day. I'm also in no way, shape, or form trying to make anybody feel bad about plastic consumption, although my end goal at the end of this video is to raise awareness about plastic consumption and bring more information towards viewers and towards people, towards an audience about our environment and how it's getting destroyed. There's so many factors as to plastic consumption, and you hopefully will learn about it at the end of this video. So go ahead and follow me through this day and see how much plastic I use. Also, please be warned and advised that in no way, shape, or form am I also trying to not use plastic on purpose or use it on purpose. It's just exactly how I use it throughout my day. So you guys will get to see that eventually, and yeah, we'll go ahead and get going on, and hopefully you guys learn something, and we'll see about it.
It's predicted that in our lifetimes, there will be more plastic in our oceans than fish.
This is really what our oceans are turning into, these broken, fragmented pieces of plastic.
Right now, there are already 5 trillion pieces of plastic in our oceans. And it's affecting animals. 90% of seabirds have plastic in their stomachs. And we could be eating it too. One study found that microplastics have made their way into popular sea salt brands.
Alright, so I just went into this little smoothie cafe. It's called Tropical Smoothie Cafe. It's located near where I live. And basically, they give it to me in this like styrofoam cup and obviously a plastic lid. I refused to get a plastic straw only because I don't consume plastic straws anymore. I carry around this little handy dandy metal straw. So I know it sounds cliche, but I have bought those straws a couple weeks ago when I realized I didn't want to use plastic straws anymore. Now they did give me a plastic bag and my little sandwich, and my little sandwich comes in this like plastic wrap thing, which I don't like. That's the thing about to-go food, that you have to be very careful where you go eat, because you're gonna get all this waste. So like right now when I eat my food, obviously this carries my sandwich, but now I have a whole plastic extra bag, and I'll have like a whole cup. And I could have avoided that, but that wouldn't be realistic because I'm actually hungry and I'm not at home anymore. So let's just keep it moving.
The first step in the production of plastic is the extraction of crude oil and natural gas from the ground. From there, the fossil fuels are sent to refineries where they are converted into several products, including the building blocks of plastic, ethane from crude oil and propane from natural gas. Ethane and propane are then sent to a cracker plant to be cracked or broken down into smaller molecules. Ethane produces ethylene, and propane becomes propylene. Next, a catalyst is mixed in, which links the molecules together and forms polymers called resins. This structure allows plastics to be easily molded and shaped, especially under heat and pressure. Polymerization converts ethylene into the resin polyethylene and propylene into polypropylene. These resins are then melted, cooled down, and chopped up into pre-production plastic pellets known as nurdles. Nurdles are later transported to manufacturers who use heat to mold the nurdles into different types of plastic products. Many of those products actually feature information about their manufacturing process. Numbers called resin identification codes are often featured, indicating which chemicals were used to make the plastic. Much of this plastic ends up as trash. Single-use plastics such as straws, grocery bags, and packaging products are particularly detrimental. they often aren't recycled and constitute about 40% of all plastic waste. They end up damaging natural habitats, endangering wildlife. Moving forward, a great way we can counter this plastic pollution is to reduce the amount of single-use plastics we use. By opting instead for reusable alternatives in our day-to-day lives, each person can make a huge impact in helping decrease plastic waste. For plastics that are already produced, other solutions are being explored. Scientists have discovered that a few organisms are capable of breaking down plastic material. Waxworms and mealworms, for example, can devour plastics and turn them into compost. Another plastic-consuming organism is a microbe, which shrinks the time plastic takes to degrade from hundreds of years to only a few days. Change is happening in the production of plastics as well, with some manufacturers turning back to plants for ingredients. Called biodegradable bioplastics, these materials are as durable as synthetic plastics, come from renewable resources, and can therefore biodegrade.
While I was walking throughout the grocery store, I took more notice of how many items include plastic. And I also came into realization that this was one of the millions of grocery stores in the world. So among the millions of grocery stores that carry out plastic every single day, we can just imagine how much plastic can go to waste. Since people have to buy necessary items such as water bottles, milk, baby food, etc., it makes it a bit more difficult to simplify the use of plastic.
So I found this. No, I'm not gonna buy it, but I just wanted to take a look at this. This packet costs, I don't know how much it costs, probably like $10 or something. But it comes with 20 tablets and the little single-use packets. Like each one of those little packets has one single tablet. And like, I think that's such a waste of plastic. Yes, they are convenient to use, but for the environment, they are not. Alright, so update time. I had to go to the store. So I wanted to show like the amount of trash or like plastic I built up over today. So this right here, I went to Kohl's. Literally this is all trash. I don't want to put it out, but it has like receipts, it has paper towel, it has some coupons, like stuff like that. So that's all trash. And then they gave me an extra bag, which I didn't really need. And then right here, I don't like to accept plastic bags because normally I'll bring like a cloth bag when it comes down to going to the store, but I always somehow forget. Not always, but most of the time. For example, I use these to wipe off my makeup, which I shouldn't. They're like the little cotton pads, which I should be a little bit more careful about when using. And then this, like, I plan on using this for my hair and stuff like that. This comes in a plastic little container. And see, this is another one of those. And then this one is in a plastic container, but it has little plastic wrapper on it and stuff. So that, like, I went and got makeup and stuff, but like I just wanted to be like aware of the things that I buy. Sometimes I don't really notice that, like I just might think this is just plastic, but I literally bought a sponge and a plastic container, and not the person to often buy sponges all the time, but let's just say I do, you know. Same thing with this, it has like a tiny little plastic wrap on it, and just things like that tend to build up. what is your perspective on plastic pollution in the next 10 years?
Plastic pollution in the next 10 years. That's actually a good question. I gotta say, I hate to say it at the same time, I think it's really gonna get worse because even though we have all these resources where people can go, recycle and, separate our plastics from our metals and our cardboard, that at the same time, the newer generation is really not getting, the proper education that they need, and knowing the importance of, separating those things and recycling, because all that plastic somehow always end up in the ocean, which affects, the marine life, where you see stories all the time where you got dolphins and, we got all these sea life, being affected by the pollution, that we're putting in it, and it's not very healthy. And as a whole, for like the next 10 years though, if we continue to go at the rate that we're going, we're starting to wipe out, the marine life, the sea life, the fishes and sharks and, everything that live in the water, because they're just as important, to the ecosystem as we are as humans. So, in a nutshell, I think if we don't start getting the proper education that we can get, and passing that same knowledge on, the plastic pollution situation is really gonna get worse within the next 10 years if we don't start doing something right now. So that's where I stand on that.
A little change can always go a long way. If we decided to recycle more or even use less plastic throughout our day, we would figure out how much easier it would be to cause less waste to our planet. These pictures are a simple reminder of how our animals and our land are being affected, and soon this can all come back to destroy us all. From this video, I learned how much plastic I use throughout the day and how eventually it can add up to be more than I think it is. Hopefully from this video, we can take a piece from it and put it out into the world in order to make a change.